Costco can save you money, but only when buying more actually lowers your total cost. That sounds obvious, yet a warehouse built around giant packages creates one expensive illusion. People compare the price per ounce and forget to calculate how much of that food they will actually use. If 25% of a bulk purchase ends up stale, expired, or untouched in your pantry, the bargain disappears. Here are 10 Costco foods worth thinking twice about, and what to buy instead. Number 10. Snack variety packs. The giant boxes of chips and snacks look almost impossible to beat. You get dozens of individually packaged bags, several flavors, and a price per bag that can look much better than buying them individually. The problem is the variety itself. Most households don't like every flavor equally. The popular bags disappear first, then you're left with the flavors nobody wanted, sitting in the pantry for weeks. You paid for 30 or 40 bags, but the real calculation is how many actually get eaten. Instead, buy larger bags of the 2 or 3 snacks your household actually likes and portion them yourself. You lose some convenience, but you stop paying for unwanted inventory. Number 9. Bulk ground coffee. Coffee is one of those products where Costco's size advantage can work against you. Once coffee is roasted, and especially once it is ground, exposure to oxygen gradually reduces the aroma and flavor. A huge container might have an attractive price per ounce, but a 1 or 2 person household can spend weeks working through it. By the bottom of the container, you may be drinking noticeably flatter coffee just because you saved a few dollars up front. The better move is buying whole beans in an amount you can realistically finish while they're fresh, then grinding what you need. If you drink several cups every day, Costco-sized coffee can make sense. If you drink 3 cups a week, you're probably buying storage rather than savings. Number 8. Flavored yogurt multi-packs. Yogurt multi-packs have the same hidden problem as snack variety packs. The price looks good because you're buying a large number of cups at once. But check the flavors. If your family loves strawberry and blueberry but nobody touches peach, the cost per yogurt you actually consume is much higher than the shelf price suggests. There's a simple alternative. Buy plain Greek yogurt and add your own fruit, honey, cinnamon, or granola. You choose the sweetness, you choose the flavor, and one container can become several different breakfasts. The warehouse pack wins only if your household reliably finishes the entire box. Number 7. Bagged salad kits. A huge bag of salad feels like one of the healthiest purchases in the entire warehouse. Then Wednesday arrives. You open the refrigerator and half the leaves have started turning into something you definitely aren't serving with dinner. Fresh produce has a brutal weakness in bulk: shelf life. A low price per ounce doesn't matter if a large portion ends up in the trash. For a family eating salad every night, the Costco bag can be excellent value. For 1 or 2 people, smaller bags from a supermarket can cost more per ounce and still cost less overall because you actually finish them. Better yet, buy longer-lasting ingredients separately. Whole romaine, cabbage, carrots, and other vegetables give you more flexibility than a giant pre-mixed kit with a short clock attached to it. Number 6. Bakery muffins. Costco bakery muffins are enormous, and that's part of the appeal. It's also why comparing them with ordinary breakfast muffins gets strange very quickly. One Costco-sized muffin can function more like a large dessert than a small breakfast pastry. Then Costco sells them in quantities that encourage you to bring several days' worth home at once. If you have a large family, a party, or you're freezing them, that's fine. Otherwise, you're combining a highly perishable bakery product with warehouse-sized quantities. Buy a smaller package from a grocery bakery when you actually want muffins, or freeze Costco's immediately instead of pretending a pile of giant pastries will remain fresh on the counter. Costco isn't necessarily overcharging you here. It may actually be giving you too much food for your own good. If you like this kind of breakdown, subscribe. There are no sponsorships here, just the numbers behind what you're actually buying. Number 5. Bulk spices. This might be the clearest example of price per ounce misleading people. Walk into Costco and a giant container of spice can cost only a little more than a tiny supermarket jar. Mathematically, Costco destroys the smaller package. But there's one question that matters. How quickly are you going through 10, 15, or 20 ounces of that spice? Spices don't suddenly become unusable when they get old, but their aroma and flavor weaken over time. That matters when the entire reason you're adding them is flavor. Restaurants can burn through giant containers. Most households cannot. Buy frequently used basics like garlic powder or black pepper in larger quantities if you genuinely finish them. For something you use twice a month, buy the smaller container. Paying more per ounce can be cheaper than owning a 3-year supply of increasingly flavorless powder. Number 4. Protein Bar Multi-Packs. Protein bars are another product where the box does a lot of psychological work. 20 bars sitting together make the unit price look reasonable. But protein bars are convenience food, and convenience should be compared with other ways of getting the same protein. Depending on the product, a bar might provide around 20 grams of protein. You can get similar amounts from foods like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs, tuna, or a protein shake without committing to an entire box of one product. And variety packs create the familiar Costco problem. You love 2 flavors and spend the next month avoiding the third. If you genuinely need shelf-stable food for work or travel, buy the bars. If you're eating them at home because the box happens to be there, regular food or protein powder may give you better value. Number 3. Frozen entrees and lasagna. Frozen food solves Costco's expiration problem, but it creates a different one. Freezer space has value. A giant lasagna may be cheap per serving, but only if you want that many servings of lasagna and have room to store it. That giant package can occupy the same freezer space as several different meals. There is also a portioning problem. Once a large tray becomes dinner, people often keep eating it for several days simply because it has already been opened. The better alternative for smaller households is buying individually portioned frozen meals or making a large homemade batch and freezing it in separate containers. You still get the convenience, you just don't surrender a quarter of your freezer to one dinner. Number 2. Cases of bottled water. Bottled water might have one of the most deceptive low prices in the warehouse, because the individual bottles seem almost free. But this is a purchase you make again and again. A reusable bottle and filtered tap water change the economics completely. Instead of repeatedly paying for dozens of plastic bottles, you're paying primarily for the water coming from your tap and replacing the filter periodically. Of course, bottled water still makes sense for emergencies, events, job sites, travel, or places where tap water isn't suitable. But for ordinary daily drinking at home, buying case after case means repeatedly paying for packaging and transportation. A filter pitcher or under-sink filter has a higher upfront cost, then keeps working long after one Costco case would be empty. Number 1. Pre-made deli sandwiches. This is where convenience pricing becomes easiest to see. A prepared sandwich contains ingredients Costco already sells separately: bread, meat, cheese, vegetables, and sauce. The moment somebody assembles those ingredients for you, the economics change. You're no longer buying groceries in warehouse quantities, you're buying prepared food. That can still be worthwhile when you're hungry and need lunch immediately. But if you're shopping for several days of meals, buying the components separately usually gives you far more flexibility. The same turkey can go into sandwiches, wraps, salads, or breakfast. The same cheese works across several meals. And you control how much sauce and filling goes into each serving. The deli sandwich makes sense when you're buying time. It makes much less sense when you're buying groceries. And that's the real Costco trap. Costco is extremely good at lowering the price per unit. But your bank account doesn't care about price per ounce. It cares about how many dollars left your account and how much of what you bought actually got used. A product that's 30% cheaper isn't cheaper if you throw away 40% of it. Before putting the giant package in your cart, ignore the size for 5 seconds and ask one question: will I actually finish this? Now I want to know which Costco food you think belongs on this list. What did you buy because it looked like an incredible deal, only to realize later that you'd never finish it? Subscribe if you want more value breakdowns without the warehouse hype.